Hello and welcome back to my channel, Scary Stories with Kyler. Today we're gonna um talk about Bobby Mackey's Music World. Now, if you ever have never seen Ghost Adventures, and it's one of their most famous locations that they've ever haunted. Investigated. Was Bobby Mackey's Music World in Wilder, Kentucky. Okay, we'll go back a little ways to the to the beginning, and nobody really knows what exactly started to happen. But one day, this guy named Robert Randall was seeing this woman, Johanna, and her dad didn't agree with them seeing each other. And he found out, and he poisoned they poisoned he poisoned Robert Randall. And so distraught by this act of carelessness from her father, she ended up committing suicide up in the what would be called the catwalk. And Bobby Mackey actually has a song out called Johanna. And I've never heard it before, but it must be true because I've heard a little bit of it, so it must be something. And we go in the basement. That's where things get really, really, really messed up. Um, there was a caretaker that lived in Bobby Mackey's for about, let's say, between 12-15 years. And he got possessed because he dug up the well that they say is a portal to hell. And that's not the only creepy thing that had happened down in that basement. Two guys by the name of Scott Jackson and Alonzo Walling sacrificed and murdered Pearl Bryan. And it's just messed up the story behind that. And the Ghost Adventures were investigating Bobby Mackey's. And they have ended up investigating this place like three, 4 different times. And each time was worse than the time before. The first time that they investigated Bobby Mackey's, not really too much stuff happened up up in the bar area. Zach was trying to get a hold of Johanna, and Nick gets scared when something smacks against the wall in the bathroom. It just all the weird little tiny stuff that they usually pick up on when they're investigating a location like that. But the most messed up stuff happened down in the basement. Zach's in front of the well that Carl Lawson dug up, and he says to Zach he says to Nick and Aaron, why is my back burning? He says my back is burning, and they're like, what? He's like, my back is burning. So they lift up his shirt, and he has 3 distinct scratches on his back. 3 distinct scratches on his back. That usually stands for the mocking of the Trinity. And Nick tries to reach out to Scott Jackson and Alonzo Walling and asks them what they did to Pearl Bryan. And towards the end of the investigation, they see this tall shadow thing that looks like it's having a cowboy hat. Now, that's not the end of the story of Bobby Mackey's. They actually had a live event investigating at Bobby Mackey's, where you could investigate with Zach, Nick, and Aaron. And a lot of weird things happened. There were these 2 people that were filming down in the basement. Something goes flying across the room. You can literally see this figure just get up and run across the room. Now, the second investigation of Bobby Mackey's, this is where we get into the really messed up stuff. The minister was with him on this particular investigation because he knew what happened. Zach went and talked to him, and he knew what would happen if they went back there and they were provoking this spirit that's down in the basement that scratched Zach. So he came along with for protection. And in the process of being down there, something as bad is happening to Aaron. And it's affecting him in a bad way. And he threatens to kill the minister. Now, we would come to figure out a little while later that Bobby Mackey is actually the cause of Aaron's divorce from his wife. And Carl Lawson died, and they captured his voice, in a EVP session. it's sad to think that that man will be stuck there for the rest of his life because of what has happened to him in that location. It's sad to think that there's this evil spirit that will not let all these other spirits you know move on. You know, like if I if I had to guess, you know, I bet you Johanna, Robert, um, Scott, Alonzo, and Pearl, they wouldn't want to be there, I don't think. But there's something evil in that basement. And guess what? They have never went back to Bobby Mackey's after that. Because every time they would go to Bobby Mackey's, you know, a lot of bad things would happen to them a few days after their investigation there. And it's just not a good place. They don't call this place the portal to hell for no reason. And I would never go there personally, but I would have to say stay away from there. That's the one paranormal place I would never visit. Never visit because we've all seen what has happened to Zach, Nick, and Aaron, and these guys are professionals. And it freaks, if it freaks them out, then that's a good good enough evidence to not want to go to that place. Okay, that was Bobby Mackey's Music World. And I will see you all next week where we'll have another special video of the paranormal. Alright, I'll see y'all later. And please do not forget to like and subscribe because I really like making these videos. And I will see you all later. Okay, bye.